Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Easy. Welcome back to another EazyDuzIt video. And for today's video, guys, yes, I have yet another story time for you guys. So I'm not sure if you guys remember this exactly, but about a month ago, I said I was gonna be starting a new job. Well, I kind of put in my 2 weeks after 4 days of training. So I guess technically I didn't really quit my job after 4 days. I just put in my 2 weeks after the 4 days of training, and then I finished out those 2 weeks, but you know I had to put that in the title. Clickbait, right? So yeah, this video, it's just gonna be me explaining why exactly I quit my job after those 4 days and what exactly I didn't like about it, and so on and so on. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Roll the intro. Alright, so yeah guys, let's just hop right into the story time of why I quit my new job after 4 days. And I just really want to say that it's a shame that I didn't like this job, because I really thought that I was gonna like it. You know, I really thought I could see myself being there for like 5-10 years down the road, you know? But it is what it is. It's all a learning experience. I'm not tripping about it, you know? I'm confident that I'm gonna find the perfect job for me at some point, you know? Alright, so to start it off, let's kind of backtrack a little bit so that way I can kind of give you guys a little bit more context about my situation and just kind of like where I'm at right now. So I have 2 jobs. One of the jobs is a summertime only job. It's a restaurant on the beach by me, and I go there in the summertime and I bus tables there all summer long. And I also had a part-time job that I used to work all year round. It was at a hospital like 5 minutes away from my house, and I used to work in the kitchen. Now the actual name of the position I was working at the hospital, it's called a dietary aide. And pretty much what my job was, along with the other 2 people that I was working with in the kitchen every single day as well, our jobs were to just kind of get the trays and food ready for all the patients every single day, and then we'd bring them to the different departments in the hospital. So we had emergency room, behavioral health, and chemical dependency, you know, and pretty much all our jobs were to do every single day was just get the food and the trays ready, put them on a cart, and we'd bring them up to the patients for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. And the thing is, like, I really did like this job a lot, you know? I loved everybody that I worked with, you know, every single day, no matter who I was working with, I loved everybody, you know? I liked my job a lot, but the biggest reason why I really was just kind of trying to find a new job and something a little bit more was because, like I said, I was only working part-time. I only got like 15 to 16 hours every single week, you know, and I was only working 3 hours every single day that I was on schedule, you know? So I wanted to work a lot more hours than what I was receiving. So that's the biggest reason why I was just trying to find a new job at the time. And now with my job at the hospital, I'm not sure if where you guys work, if it's the same thing, but pretty much how it goes is if you're already working at the hospital, right? And you want to switch into another position or another department in the hospital, you have to fill out like this, like, I think it's called like an internal employee posting, job posting or something like that. And pretty much what that means is if you apply to do another job in a different department in the same hospital, you pretty much get priority over that position over everyone else that applied outside of working in the hospital, you know what I mean? So I spent weeks just kind of checking up and just constantly looking at the job postings and seeing if there's anything at all that I would maybe want to transfer to in the same hospital, but out of the kitchen. And about 2 months ago, I came across this job posting that they finally put up, and it was called the Patient Access Representative. And I looked it up on Google, and what it pretty much was, you know, you're just kind of sitting in this little like office, customer service office in the hospital, and all you do is if somebody comes in and they need to get some blood work done or an x-ray done, or if they're in emergency, they need to go to the emergency room, you're pretty much just checking them in and dealing with their insurance, you know, and just kind of like, it's data entry pretty much, right? And you're also putting in their basic information into the computer as well, you know, like their address, their name, their number, their social security number, all that stuff, right? Now this position, it was still only part-time, but I was guaranteed 22.5 hours every single week, and the pay was better as well. So I was definitely looking forward to getting into that a lot more than the kitchen. And at the time, I really thought that this was a job that I was really gonna like, and I could definitely see myself doing it for like 10 years down the road, you know? But that quickly changed as soon as I got done with like the interview process and once I actually started like training for the job. So pretty much after I saw that job being posted on the bulletin board, I went ahead and I filled out that internal employee job posting, and about 3 weeks after I filled that out, I got a call on the phone from the patient access coordinator, and she just went ahead and we scheduled an appointment for me to go in for an interview. And then after that, I went to the interview, absolutely destroyed that interview, and then about 2 weeks after that, I got a call from human resources in my hospital, and they told me that I pretty much got the job. So I told them that I would definitely accept it, and then I put in my 2 weeks to leave the kitchen. Everybody was sad. I was sad, man. I did not want to leave the kitchen. I loved everybody that I worked with there. It was awesome, but you know, I had to put my 2 weeks in the kitchen so that way I could move on to patient access. And by the way, guys, I really hope that I'm explaining everything right and I'm kind of painting a picture in your guys' head, because I know I'm probably not the best at telling stories, but I'm trying my best, you know? So if you guys have any questions at all about what happened or what I'm trying to say, feel free to put them down in the comment section below. I respond to every single person that comments on my videos. I don't bite unless you want me to, you know? But if you have anything at all that you want to add or just ask me and I didn't maybe say it clearly enough for you guys, feel free to put it down in the comments. So yeah, after my last 2 weeks were finally up in the kitchen, I then moved on to start training for patient access. So moving on to my first day of training for the new job, right? So first day, I walk into the hospital, I walk into my coordinator's office, we say hi and everything, right? And then not too long after I walk into her office, we also have a new kid who's also going to be training with me as well. So it's me. I'm going to be training for the day shift. I was going to be training for the 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. position, and we also had another new kid. He was going to be training for He was going to be training for the graveyard shift. So he was going to be coming in at 11 p.m. and he was going to be gone at 7 a.m. And he was really cool. I'm not going to say his name. You know, I'm all about privacy online on YouTube or whatever, you know, but he was a really cool guy. But pretty much we go through our first day of training. You know, we didn't really do a whole lot. It was mostly just my coordinator explaining a whole bunch of things to us, giving us a whole bunch of papers and packets explaining like how to do different things and certain things with like insurances and everything like that. And also we went down to the actual like patient access office where like we're actually going to be like registering patients and everything. We just kind of went down there, and we had 2 people that were on shift at the time on my first day of training, and we were just kind of like training off of them, just kind of watching how they do things and like just, you know, just why they do certain things and how they talk to people and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much our first day just involved a whole lot of listening and pretty much just watching. And now the second day of training, it was pretty much the same thing as the first day, you know, just a whole lot of learning, whole lot of listening and watching how people do certain things. But the guy who was training with me, the guy who was training for the night shift or the graveyard shift, whatever you want to call it, I could really tell that he knew what he was doing already. And I'm like, really, man? Like, I'm still learning. You know, I'm a slow learner. I'll admit it. I'm a very slow learner. But over time, I will get a lot better. But this guy, he already knew how to do things. And he was already kind of starting to, like, go to work already on his second day of training. And I'm like, really, man? I feel so far behind, you know? But I tried not to let it get to me as much. But, you know, I was just simply just trying to do my best on the second day. And now on the third day, this is the day that my coordinator really like started to have me and the other guy like really start to like actually like go to work how we would on a normal shift, and you know, just talk to patients, register them, and like confirm their insurance on the computer and everything. And let me tell you, it was pretty much a nightmare for me. Like, I'm not trying to be over dramatic or anything like that, but like I was so stressed out that day. And patients, like let's say somebody's coming in for blood work, right? If somebody's coming in for blood work, that's typically supposed to be easy, you know? But pretty much, how do I want to put this? pretty much if there's a patient that should be out and into their appointment in like the next like 2 minutes, it was gonna take me like 6 minutes to get them out, you know? Pretty much what I'm saying is the time that a patient should be out and I should be done like registering them into the computer, it would take me twice or triple times that amount of time. And everybody was telling me that it's probably just because I'm new to the job, but I'm just being honest, most of the stuff I was not understanding, you know, like some of the stuff I was, but the insurances, it was so confusing, man. There's so many different insurances out here in Western New York, and you know, I just had a really hard time of figuring out which one goes under like which category or whatever, and oh my god, dude, it was just so confusing, bro. And the other guy who was training with me, he was already doing everything, man. He was doing everything by himself. Of course, he had a couple questions for my coordinator and stuff like that, but for the most part, he could do like 2 or 3 patients, whether they needed to go to the ER, they had blood work or an appointment for like an x-ray or something like that. No matter what they needed done, this guy who was training with me, he was doing them fast and he was getting them in and out just like that, you know? And I'm over here taking like 6 minutes to get one person to go do their blood work, and it was just really stressful, man. So pretty much after that 3rd day of training, I kind of already had a feeling that maybe this isn't the right job for me personally, but I don't really like to ever just straight up just give up on something just like that, you know? I like to give it a good solid chance, and that night I made a decision and I told my parents about it, and they completely agreed with me as well. Pretty much I was gonna give it one more day. I was gonna give it 4 days of training, and after the 4th day of training, if I don't feel like I can like fully like enjoy my job and make a breakthrough and really understand everything that I'm doing, then I'm pretty much just gonna tell my coordinator how I feel, just be completely honest with her, and we'll go from there, right? So on the 4th day, I woke up in a stressed out mood, but I was pretty optimistic about the day, you know? I had this really good just feeling and mindset that I was gonna come into work, train again, just do my absolute best, and just do whatever I can, right? But on the 4th day, same old results as the past couple of days, you know? Just the same old, just feeling really anxious and really just stressed out, not really truly understand what I'm doing. Like, I'm trying my absolute best, bro, but I'm asking questions to my coordinator like every couple minutes when I'm with a patient. I'm asking people who I'm working with questions every single couple minutes, you know, and it was just not getting better at all. So after the 4th day, I told my coordinator straight up, like, I don't think that this is the job for me. I'm feeling really stressed out and overwhelmed, and she was really cool about it. She completely understood. She didn't give me any hate for it or anything like that. You know, she just told me like, all right, well, thank you so much for being honest with me. You know, thank you for trying your best, and I'm really sorry to see you go, you know? So after that 4th day, I put in my 2 weeks, and yeah, here I am. So my 2 weeks for that job has been up for about 2 weeks now, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I didn't want to make a video on this right after the week of me leaving. I don't even know why, you know. I guess it's just something with me, but on my YouTube channel, I'm always gonna be 100% real and honest with you guys. So if anything happens to me in my personal life that I feel like is really important and that you guys deserve to know, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It is what it is, right? But no matter what kind of a story time I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to bring you guys some type of value, so that way you guys can kind of learn from my mistakes and my experiences, so that way you guys can better yourselves from them and what I've been through as well. And pretty much what I'm trying to tell you guys in this one is, don't ever do something strictly just for money, you know? Because before I even thought about the patient access job, like, I loved my dietary aid position in the kitchen. I loved it, you know? But I wasn't getting enough hours that I originally wanted, so I thought moving to the patient access job, you know, it was gonna get me a little bit more money, I was gonna get more hours, and at the time, I thought that I was gonna enjoy it, but it turns out that I was even stressed out and I didn't enjoy just going to training, you know? So like, if you guys are in a position where you're making great money, like fantastic, you know, like triple digit figures every single year, but you literally dread going to your job every single day, you know, just kind of ask yourself, like, is the money really worth it? Because if your happiness is going just straight down the drain and you're making all this money, I don't think it's all that much worth it if you're not enjoying what you're doing as a career, you know what I mean? Because like for me, yeah, it sucks that I didn't like that job, because I thought at the time that that was a job that I could see myself being at for like the next 10-15 years or whatever, you know? But obviously that didn't work out, and I'm still in the process of finding out exactly like what I want to do for a career if for some reason YouTube doesn't work out, you know? Because like making YouTube videos is my passion. Like my dream job is being able to make videos full-time for you guys, you know? And I'm gonna continue to work towards that every single day and every single week and stuff. But you know, I gotta make my money, man. I got bills to pay, got car payment to pay. You know what it is, man, you know? So I'm gonna be just fine, you know? It's all learning experience, that's all it is. Like, you know what I mean, guys? Like, you're never gonna be able to fully grow without having some failures in your lifetime, you know what I mean? So it's all about just learning from them and figuring out who you are as a person and what you wanna do. But anyways, guys, yeah, that is gonna be just about it on the story time about how and why I quit my brand new job just after 4 days of training. But I really hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and I also really hope that I was able to help you guys out in some way, shape, or form by giving you guys some type of good advice or motivation. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's so hot in this car right now, man. It's like 90 degrees outside. So once again, guys, if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to smash that like button for me. Also, if you are new to the channel, also be sure to subscribe if you are new. I love each and every single one of you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.